So they asked you to resign? And I want to say the thing that nobody in the room will say out loud. They're asking you to fire yourself. That's what it is. Strip the polite language off of it. And that's what's underneath. They want an ending. They want to feel comfortable. They just don't want to do it. And you sat there and nodded because what else do you do? And then you got in your car, your hands shaking, and you were shaking a little, and you couldn't figure out why you felt so small over those 4-minute conversations. I know why. Stay with me. Here's what exactly happened in there, and I'm going to be straight with you because I don't think anyone else will be. When the company ends a relationship, the company owns it. When you end it, nobody owns it. It becomes a thing that happens, and everyone gets to go home feeling okay about themselves. So they ask politely, and then they let it get quiet, because quiet is heavy, and people will say almost anything that makes the quiet stop. I want to be fair here, because bitter is not going to help you tonight. The person who asked you might have felt terrible about it. They can completely be real. It doesn't change what they're still asking for. They were asking you to carry it. After everything you gave the place, the last thing they wanted for you was to carry this too. You don't have to. Now, here's the part I actually care about, and it's not the paperwork. You walked out feeling like there's this weight, and you found yourself to be short, like all those years just got totaled up and came back that you were not enough. And you're going to lie in bed tonight, running the whole scenario backwards and forward. What did I miss? When did it turn? Was it that email I sent in March? Should I had said something? Should I had said less? Hear me, stop it. And I mean it. You are not going to find the right moment because there most likely wasn't one. What there was is a budget, a reorg, or somebody's opinion in a meeting you weren't in. That's it. That's the whole mystery. Being asked to leave and being worthless are two completely unrelated facts. And tonight, your head has it welded together. Get your chisel. Okay, let's be practical, and I'll be quick, because you need these 2 things, not 20 things. First, do not answer today. Not today, not in the room, not on the call. There's no policy anywhere that says that you have to decide on the spot. That pressure comes from that bad feeling of sitting there, not from any rule. Second, this is the part that people find out too late. In most states, if you resign, generally, you do not qualify for unemployment. If they let you go, generally, you do. Same week, same job, gone. And one comes with an income while you look, and the other one comes with nothing. I'm in HR, as you know. I'm not an attorney, and every state writes its own rule. Go read your own state's page on voluntary separation before you sign anything. 10 minutes. And if any piece of this touches your age, your health, you took a leave, you made a complaint, call an employment attorney. Most will speak to you at least once for free. That's it. That's the whole practical part of it. I'm going to bury it for you. Now, I want to tell you about somebody. There's a man in the Bible named Joseph. And the thing that happened to him wasn't a layoff. It was even worse. His own brothers, his family decided he was the problem. They sold him. Then he got falsely accused and put in prison and forgotten there for years by a man who promised to remember him. Every single thing that happened to Joseph was done by people that should have protected him. And years later, when the whole thing had turned, those same brothers were standing right before him, terrified. Here's what he said to them. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Genesis 50:20. I want you to notice something. What he does not say. He doesn't say it wasn't that bad. He doesn't say they didn't do it. He doesn't tell them to forget about it. He looks right at them and says, I know exactly what you meant. And then he says, God was in it anyway. That's not a nice sentiment to put on a coffee mug. That's a man who lost more than you're losing this, saying that what people meant for your harm and what God is doing with your life are two different things running at the same time. And only one of them gets the last word. I'm not going to tell you that this is a blessing in disguise. I hate when people say that. It's not a blessing. It's a loss, and you're allowed to grieve your job. Anyone who tells you otherwise have never had one taken. What I'm telling you is that the people in that meeting don't get to decide about you and your role. They might have made a decision for the company, but I'm telling you, it is not saying anything about your work. So don't let the enemy get in your head. Start today. Know your worth. Your job, your title, none of that speaks about your worth. Don't let that impact you. Yes, was it horrible? I get all of that. But it's not saying anything about your worth. So when you go back in there, here's what you're going to say. Make sure you write this down. I appreciate you telling me this directly. I'm not making a decision today. Send me the proposal in writing and I'll come back to you on Friday. You stay calm. Don't explain it. Don't apologize for it. Then stop talking and let it be quiet. Because that silence, it's not yours to fill. Not this time. And watch what happens. 9 times out of 10, the urgency just evaporates and somebody says, oh, of course, take your time, because it was never urgent. It was just the atmosphere. Then that night, write down what was said, the date it was said in your personal email, not your work account. They can shut the laptop off at 9 in the morning and everything is gone. Facts and dates. That's all. It takes 4 minutes, and you will be glad you did it. One more thing, and then I'll go. You are going to be tempted to resign anyway. Not for the money, for pride, because you can't stand the idea of being walked out, and you rather choose it than have it done to you. Believe me, I understand that all the way down. I will never call that weak. But hear me, your dignity is not in the paperwork. It never was. Nobody at your next job, nobody at the kitchen table, nobody at your church is going to read the form. You're not buying your self-respect back with that signature. You're paying for it. You can still hold your head up and take the exit that protects your family. These two things never have ever been a conflict. The version of you that gets described in the meeting is not the person I would have hired. That's one company's paperwork about one season, written by people who had a number to hit. They intended it for harm. Fine, let them. Something else is going on in your life. It didn't stop this week. Your worth was never up for review. If you're on the other side of the desk, if you're the leader about to ask someone to resign and you want it done right, that's the work I do. Links are below. I'm not chasing anyone, just in case you need my help. If that's you, you already know that's you. You're not paranoid. You never were. Remember, we are blessed by the best. And I will see you in my next one. Make sure you check out the links below. Yeah, right there. And hit that like button, and I'll see you on my next one.